And here we go.
What's going on, guys? My name is Mike from the Super Wheeler Bros, and today we have a review for the Purge election year. Yes. And I really debated whether I was actually even going to do this video, and I think the real reason that I'm going to do this video, and we are definitely going to be getting into spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it first, and then come back and have some fun with me in ripping it. I wanted to show you guys that I don't love everything I see, and that I am capable of not being positive about a movie. Even though there are some things in this movie that were done well, most of it was not. But I wanted to show you guys that there are some movies that I do think are crap, and I don't enjoy everything, and it doesn't have to be lukewarm or better for me every time. Even though almost everything I reviewed so far is kind of a positive take on it. And again, I think it's just my personality. I just like to be positive about things. I just like to enjoy things. So if I don't think I'm going to enjoy a movie, which is why I waited so long in this movie to watch it, even though I freaking loved the second one, we're going to go and we're going to trash it. So let's get into it. The Purge election year is the third Purge movie. That's right. This is our new Paranormal Activity. Apparently every year we have to have a Purge movie. And I gotta tell you, this one-trick pony needs to stop. The first Purge was a home invasion thriller that was horror trope by horror trope and dumb character after dumb character doing stupid thing after stupid thing, and it makes you want to pull your damn hair out by the end of the movie. The Purge Anarchy, however, was a pretty awesome, gritty, almost action movie that used the background of the basis of the Purge, which if you haven't seen these movies, and for some reason you skipped the part where I said spoilers, it's basically where you can, for 12 hours, commit any crime that you want, including murder, without facing prosecution. There's no rescue, there's no police, there's nothing. So the big booming business is making sure you can protect yourself on Purge night and having Purge insurance and whatnot. And what they've begun to try to do in the second and third iteration of the Purge is have a social commentary. And it doesn't work in either movie, and I can give you the reasons here in just a moment. What separated the second movie from the third movie is Frank Grillo just carrying the whole thing. And it was a little bit more interesting because they introduced the element that I'm going to talk about where the government is trying to use this as a way to make sure that they can eliminate homeless and people so that they don't have to continue funding government relief of these folks. I know a lot of people talk about this when they watch these movies where they try to have a social commentary, to try to have a meaning in it, and it always reverts to body count. And in this one, it's a lot worse because it's way more gratuitous. In the second one, yeah, it didn't make sense when they were going down that alley where they see the homeless people and then we have a car shooting flames, and instead of hiding like they did when they saw our main characters, they jumped out and just started running for no reason, revealing themselves so that they could just burn them alive and have more of a body count. And that's exactly what they were there for. They were just there as bodies to kill so that we didn't have to off all of our main characters that we were following ourselves through the movie with. What makes it worse in the Purge election year is that it doesn't move the story forward at all. We get just really weird, random characters that are just, we're cutting to just schlock. In this movie, it went beyond the second one where it's actually a little bit disturbing and disgusting all at the same time. Unless you're really get off on seeing just disgusting, vile things happening to your fellow humans, you're not going to enjoy it because there's no reason for it. You know, stuff like The Walking Dead is every bit as gory or gruesome as anything you see in The Purge, but it always has a purpose behind it. Yeah, it's just a zombie show, or yeah, there's just a lot of gore, but there's always a story being told that makes sense, and it creates tension, and even in its worst iterations, which Walking Dead is prone to having, there is a reason behind the madness and behind the gore. Stuff like this, there's not. And Frank Grillo, I don't know, he seemed awfully bored by this. Only Elizabeth Mitchell as Senator Charlie Roan really showed any kind of effort here. Frank Grillo went from a badass who was always one step ahead of these purgers and these people that were trying to get after them in the second movie. He went to the most incompetent head of security I've ever seen. Yeah, he had a couple things built in, and he was still pretty badass. And Terry Serpico, what the hell was he? I don't know. Military guy who's trying to carry out these things. And the acting in this movie is so bad. And a lot of it is the script, because there is some good actors in this movie. Frank Grillo, Elizabeth Mitchell, Michael T. Williamson, who I love. Michael T. Williamson is the man. Bubba Gump. But there's this stupid stuff that they make these characters say. And he has some good one-liners, especially at the end of the movie. But there's one point in this movie where he's like, I lost my Purge insurance. I guess I'm just gonna have to defend this place myself. Are you serious? Really? Come on. What is that? Couldn't you have come up with something better at all? I don't know. It's just stupid. It doesn't make any sense why you would have dialogue that bad. And I don't care how good an actor you are. Michael T. Williamson's been awesome. I loved him on Justified as Limehouse, but Michael T., I'm sorry, man. You were not the worst offender, though. You actually tried, and I enjoyed you in the movie. The acting is so bad, and in the middle of the movie, you got these girls that are driving around in a Christmas light car, and this is what they think being scary and being crazy looks like right here. Ready? They just make faces in the camera and stare bug-eyed up at it like this. I want my candy bar. I want my candy bar, you old fuck. It's embarrassing. Thank God they were dispatched quickly. Because if I had to deal with them for the rest of the movie, I probably wouldn't have finished it. But guess what? There's more. There's more bad acting in store. The bishop, Kyle Secor. Kyle Secker. I don't know how to say your name. But the guy that played the minister, oh my God. Can you say overacting? Holy crap. Wow. There was so much bad acting in the final scene that the little nugget at the end of it that made it somewhat redeeming. And, you know, it just was so bad. It was so bad. What a huge step down from the Purge Anarchy, which was a really enjoyable thriller. Even Frank Grillo looked bored. Even he couldn't save the bad script. James DeMonico, who has directed all 3 Purge movies, my brother, I think it's time to move on. Chris Stuckman said it best when he's basically ripping the camera work. There's no dynamic camera work in either movie, The Purge Election Year or The Purge Anarchy, which are more closely related than the first one. It's just kind of embarrassing. It's like the most basic film school stuff. Like, every time he actually tries to make an actual camera movement and make it seem cinematic, he does a really good job. I think he would just rather concentrate on the schlock and gore rather than actually making a biting social commentary in a really grisly, gruesome movie. It could have worked. It could have worked. It could have worked, but it's just bad. I'm gonna give The Purge election year a 3 out of 10. Not the worst movie I've ever seen. Has some entertaining parts, but it is overall a dumpster fire. Tell me what you thought of The Purge election year in the comments below. Did you have as big a problem with this movie as I did? Or am I completely wrong and you loved it? Or is there something in between? I know I always say either you love it or you hate it. Just tell me what your thoughts in the movie are in the comments below. I would love to discuss it with you. And if you enjoyed this review and enjoyed my rant, please drop us a like. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy videos like this and you want to see more in the future, definitely hit that subscribe button, as we will be bringing tons of them to you in the future. And as always, my friends, have yourselves a super week.